The sun was beginning to set behind the tall trees of a vast forest. Golden light slipped gently through the leaves, painting the ground in warm colors. But the forest was anything but peaceful. Near a small clearing, animals were gathered in loud discussion. The monkeys were arguing from the branches. The parrots were squawking loudly. The squirrels were chattering nonstop. Even the deer were stomping their hooves impatiently. Everyone had something to say. Everyone believed they were right. "We must move to the other side of the river," shouted one monkey. "That is where the fruits are sweetest." "That is foolish," screeched a parrot. "The storms always come from that direction." A squirrel jumped in nervously. "No, no, no. The safest place is near the rocks. I have seen it many times." The clearing filled with noise. Opinions flew in every direction, like leaves in a storm. No one was listening, and high above them all, on the thick branch of an ancient oak tree, sat an owl. The owl had been there the entire time, quiet, still, watching. His large golden eyes moved slowly, from one animal to another. He did not interrupt. He did not argue. He simply listened. The animals barely noticed him. To them, silence looked like ignorance. "If the owl had something useful to say, he would speak," muttered one monkey. "Yes," said the parrot. "He sits there every day, doing nothing." But the owl remained calm, because while the others spoke loudly, he was learning. He noticed the direction of the wind. He saw the dark clouds slowly gathering, far beyond the hills. He observed how the ants were already moving their food deeper into the ground. And he heard something else the others missed: the distant rumble of thunder. Still, the animals continued their noisy debate. Each voice tried to overpower the next. The clearing grew louder and louder. Finally, a young deer stepped forward nervously. "We cannot stay here arguing all night," she said softly. "We need a decision." But no one agreed. Every animal insisted their idea was the best. Frustration spread through the crowd. Then suddenly, a deep, calm voice spoke from above. "May I say something?" The clearing fell silent. Every head slowly turned upward. It was the owl. For a moment, no one spoke. The monkey blinked in surprise. "Oh, the quiet one finally speaks." The owl tilted his head slightly. "I have been listening to all of you," he said calmly. The parrot laughed. "Listening? That is all you have done." The owl did not react. "Yes," he replied gently. "That is exactly why I understand the problem." The animals looked at each other in confusion. The owl spread his wings slightly and continued. "The monkey is correct. There are many fruits near the river." The monkey nodded proudly. "But the parrot is also correct. Storms often come from that direction." Now, the parrot nodded too. "And the squirrel is right as well. The rocks offer shelter." The squirrel straightened proudly. The animals whispered among themselves. "How can everyone be right?" one asked. The owl's eyes reflected the fading sunlight. "Because each of you sees only one part of the forest." He paused for a moment. "But when you listen, you begin to see the whole picture." The clearing became quiet again. Then the owl spoke slowly. "A storm is approaching tonight. I heard the thunder long ago. I watched the clouds forming beyond the hills. Some animals looked nervous. The river will flood when the storm arrives." The owl continued. "So the fruits near the river will not help us tonight." The monkey's ears drooped slightly. "And the rocks alone will not protect everyone." The squirrel shifted uneasily. "But there is a place," the owl said. He turned his head slowly toward the north side of the forest. "Beyond the rocks, there is a large cave, hidden behind the tall ferns." The animals leaned forward. "It is high above the river. It blocks the wind. And there are berry bushes nearby for food." The deer's eyes widened. "That place exists." The owl nodded. "I have watched it for many seasons." Silence filled the clearing. For the first time that evening, no one argued. The monkey scratched his head. "How did you know all this?" The owl blinked slowly. "Because while you were speaking, I was observing." The parrot tilted his head. "And listening?" "Yes," said the owl. "Listening to the wind, listening to the forest, and listening to each of you." The animals began to understand. The loudest voices had not solved the problem. The quietest one had. Soon, the group began moving together toward the cave. The deer led the way carefully. The monkeys helped the smaller animals across fallen branches. The parrots flew ahead, guiding the path. And high above them, the owl glided silently through the evening sky. The storm arrived not long after. Rain poured heavily through the forest. Thunder rolled across the mountains. But inside the cave, the animals were safe,
Dry.
protected, and thoughtful. The young deer looked toward the cave entrance, where the owl sat watching the rain. "Why did you wait so long to speak?" she asked. The owl answered gently, "Because wisdom begins with listening." The rain continued to fall outside. But inside the cave, the forest had finally learned something new. Sometimes the most powerful voice is the one that speaks last, because it first takes the time to understand. And from that day on, whenever the forest faced a problem, the animals did something different. Before speaking, they listened, and high above them, the owl continued to watch quietly from the trees, not because he had nothing to say, but because he knew something the others were only beginning to learn. Silence can teach more than noise ever will. Listen more. Speak with purpose. Wisdom grows in silence.